This is easily the least amount of fun that I've had with the game since I bought one of those 3-in-1 PC games at Walmart back in the day, only to go home and stick it into my Windows 98 and find out that the game didn't even work. This game is trash, what a joke. I'd rather stick my finger into a power socket than play this game. I'd rather play San Andreas Hot Coffee mod with my grandma than play this game. Yo, what's going on, Tiger Bite Squad? Today is another episode of Great or Hate, where we will look at Top Gun for the NES. Not gonna lie, I just watched Top Gun Maverick in theaters and loved it, so I wanted to go back and revisit some of the old games based off the original movie. And I have to be honest with you up front, this is easily the worst game that I've reviewed on this channel so far. I had to stop playing because of how angry I got. So, without further ado, let's play some Top Gun and see how bad it could really be. Well, first, let's start with some of the positives. Love the music here. Great opening title music. As for the graphics, now I obviously didn't expect this to be anything close to a realistic flight simulator, but for 1987, this isn't bad at all. You're inside of a cockpit view and you see the controls and displays inside of your plane, which was a lot more detailed than what I expected. I was also kind of impressed at how you can basically control a fighter jet on an NES controller, which only has 2 buttons. Now the controls turn out to be really infuriating. I'll say more on that later because I can't get my blood pressure up too high just yet. But just the fact that the developers even attempted a game where you fly a jet with just 2 buttons is kind of impressive. Well, that's it for all of the positives of this game. Let's kick off the ridiculousness by talking about how the first level doesn't even make sense. It's apparently a training, but you're shooting down actual planes and they're shooting back at you. So this is either a really expensive training course for the US government or something is really wrong with this practice session. The game also features takeoff and landing sequences at the beginning and end of every level. Takeoff is done automatically and it takes forever. Why do I have to watch this more than once during the game? At least it's done automatically. I wish the same could be said about the landings. Landing your plane back on the carrier after every level is legitimately one of the most difficult, nonsensical, idiotic, seizure-inducing crap that I've ever experienced in my life. I'm not even exaggerating. You get these instructions flashing across your dashboard or whatever it's called on a plane, and it tells you ridiculous commands like up and down and speed up or speed down. But what on earth does up and down mean here? Does that mean your plane should be going up? Or does that mean you should press up on your control pad, which makes your plane go down? It doesn't make any sense at all. I also didn't know that your A and B buttons now become speed up and speed down buttons because nowhere does the game ever tell me this. So, without knowing any of this, I thought that to speed up, you had to point your plane downwards, and to speed down, you had to point up. But no, instead of telling me this, the screen just says speed up without even telling me how. I mean, isn't this supposed to be a training mission? Maybe instead of making me get into actual dogfights, the game should teach us how to fly and land the freaking plane. Whoever designed this level should be forced to play Grand Theft Auto's Hot Coffee mod with their mom. Well, anyway, the most ridiculous thing is that even when you're floundering around and get this cutscene when you crash the plane, you still pass the mission. I mean, what the heck was even the point of all this? This is basically a giant middle finger from the developers. Well, moving on, level 2 and you're already destroying an enemy aircraft carrier? Do you know how big of a deal that would be if you sank an aircraft carrier? To put that into perspective, the US currently has 11 aircraft carriers, while China and the UK only have 2 each, and Russia has 1. Geez, this game making you sink an aircraft carrier right after you finish training is almost like how a 9-year-old Anakin Skywalker took down a Trade Federation battleship all by himself by pressing random buttons in episode 1. So, in this level, you're fighting against waves of enemy planes while also dealing with ships. It's instant death if you get hit with a missile, and you apparently have 3 lives before it's game over and you start from the very beginning. I kid you not, I could not stop getting absolutely annihilated by these freaking missiles. I couldn't tell you if I had to dodge them or shoot them down. Yeah, you can actually shoot down missiles in this game, but nothing seemed to work. I died so many times that I decided to see what would happen if I just flew around avoiding every enemy plane and ship until I saw this freaking aircraft carrier that I'm supposed to destroy. And no luck, the missiles kept finding me. Also, this game is full of dead zones where you're just flying around with no enemy in sight. It's so boring. Your choice in this game is either to rage by trying to beat all the ships, planes, and missiles, or you can try flying around where nothing happens. Literally a choice between high blood pressure and boredom. Well, I was flying around, but then my plane ran out of fuel in like 5 minutes. Yeah, that's right, your plane can run out of fuel like 5 minutes into the mission. And instead of just going back to your aircraft carrier to yell at the guys in earmuffs for giving you 2 ounces of oil, you can call in a fuel plane to refuel you mid-air. What is this, Air Force One? This game is ridiculous. Okay, deep breath. Let me tell you about refueling your damn plane. Once again, like when you're landing your plane, you get these ridiculous instructions that make no sense whatsoever. What in the world does down or up mean here? Am I crazy or does this not make any sense in this situation? Please let me know because I'm actually going insane. So obviously, I failed this stupid refueling sequence, and so now the fuel plane just flies away like an ass, leaving me to just go screw myself. And you can't even call the fuel plane back, so now I'm just flying around just waiting for my fuel to run out to put me out of my misery. This is easily the least amount of fun that I've had with the game since I bought one of those 3-in-1 PC games at Walmart back in the day, only to go home and stick it into my Windows 98 and find out that the game didn't even work. This game is trash, what a joke. I'd rather stick my finger into a power socket than play this game. I'd rather play San Andreas Hot Coffee mod with my grandma than play this game. Alright, well now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the game's story. This has to be a positive aspect of the game, right? After all, it's based off of a blockbuster movie, so it's safe to assume that you're playing out some of the best scenes from the movie to some badass soundtrack, right? Wrong. The game has no storyline other than to complete the one-sentence objective shown at the beginning of each level. Mission 1's objective is training for the next mission. How the heck is that even a level description? That's like if an RPG called its first mission Preparing for Adventure, or if the first mission in every Call of Duty game was just called Preparing to Kill Enemies. Like what? This mission title is just laziness. No thought went into this whatsoever. The second mission is just called Destroy an Enemy Aircraft Carrier. I didn't get past the second mission and rage quit for my own health and well-being, but apparently there are only 4 missions in this entire game. The third one is just called Destroy an Enemy Base. The fourth and last level is called Destroy an Enemy Space Shuttle. So let's get this straight. The storyline behind this entire game is training for next mission, destroy an enemy aircraft carrier, destroy an enemy base, and destroy an enemy space shuttle. Got it, nothing to do with the movie. This game freaking sucks. Well, okay, so I think you can guess what my verdict is on whether this game was great or whether we should hate. This game blows. I hated almost every minute of it besides the intro music. I know that people always rage about landing your plane in this game, but honestly, the entire game was frustrating, lazy, unfair, and not fun. If you watch Top Gun Maverick and are itching to play this game for some reason, just don't. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like and subscribe so that you can join in on more fun in the future. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay true. Peace out, Tiger Bite crew.